let me go ahead and touch on single versus double quotes and semicolon. So sometimes when you look at other people's JavaScript code, you will see that instead of using double quotes as I'm using right here, so throughout this entire code, I've been using double quotes. Now what I'm going to do is actually select all of the double quotes. So I've just pressed Command and then D. So this is selecting all the double quotes. I'm going to delete and then replace them with single quotes and escape out of it and then save. And you see that the code works the exact same way. So there is not much difference really between when using double or single quotes, but you have to decide how you want to keep your code consistent. So I've been showing you throughout the entire course single or double quotes, but this is up to you. And for example, if you work within a software development team, to decide how you want to structure your code. So maybe your team or you prefer single quotes, then that's absolutely fine. So the same with semicolons right here. So you see that I've got semicolon right here, right? And right here, but I also right here I forgot to add semicolon, but the code still does work. So let me in fact remove all the semicolons like that, delete, save, escape and then save, and you can see that the code still works absolutely fine. So JavaScript doesn't enforce you as a developer to add semicolon at the end of your statement. So again, this is something that you have to decide on how you want to keep your code consistent. So because JavaScript doesn't enforce you to none of this, this is when people use something called ESLint. So right here, you can see that ESLint finds and fixes problems in your JavaScript code. So basically, the cool thing about it is that you can customize how you want your JavaScript to look like, right? So whether you want to use single or double quotes, whether you should have semicolons, whether you should have tab instead of spaces, and a bunch of other extra configuration. So this is something to keep in mind that you should be using in order to keep your JavaScript code consistent. So for me, I personally prefer to use semicolon at the end of each statement. So I've been, using JavaScript for years, and this is how I've been using it, right? So some people use it, some people don't, so it's absolutely fine. And the same with quotes, right? I've been using double quotes, but sometimes I actually use single quotes, and there is no big punishment, right? So for example, I've worked throughout a number of different projects in JavaScript, and some I've used double quotes and some I've used single quotes. So if you have any questions on this topic, go ahead and drop me a message. Otherwise, catch me on the next one.